Okay, so my name is Scarlett Woods. I'm the compliance manager at GOHS, and he said few hours. I'm thinking more like less than a couple. So we do have a lot of information to give you, a lot of good information. So the Wi-Fi, if you need it, is here. Go ahead and jot that down real quick, and then we'll pull up the presentation. Here we go. So I do want to thank Chattahoochee Tech, this campus up here. It's beautiful, and I appreciate them for allowing us to give our presentation here and for all of you being here. Every life counts. We're going to strive for 0 deaths and injuries on Georgia roads. I mean, that's what it's about, eliminating, right? So here's our mission statement. We did change it this year. You know, back in the day, it used to be we're just going to reduce fatalities, injuries, and crashes. Well, now we want to eliminate them. I don't know if any of you have heard of the safe system approach yet, but there is some information in your RFP packet that we'll talk about here shortly. All right, the request for proposal. I have my copy. I don't know if anybody else brought their copy of it. If you did not bring it, that's fine, but I would suggest you read it. I'm going to go over some key points today, but it is very important to read this and read it, because if you don't follow the guidelines in here, if you don't follow the parameters in here, then your application doesn't get looked at. Okay, so it's very important that you follow this. It includes the nonprofit requirements if you're a nonprofit agency. The agency form is the last attachment here, and hopefully if you have that, you can go ahead and leave it with us today, or you can email it to Candace in our office, but we can take it to her if you have it today. The problem ID worksheet, that is going to help you create your problem, okay? You're going to have to justify your problem in the application. And then also the grant terms and conditions are in here as well. Okay, so on your agenda, and I'm going to try and switch over. On your agenda, there is a QR code. All right, that QR code is going to take you to our website that lists all of these recordings, all the step-by-step guides to help you with your application. So the recording is from last year. I think we had to do this virtually. So the recordings, application's basically the same. If you don't get something today and you need to refer back to it, Jared, you said Control, Alt, Tab. Well, look at me.
There you go.
Okay, so it'll bring you to our grants page. Applying for a grant. So if you need the RFP, there's a link to it there. It's kind of small. Anyway, you get the idea of what's here. Okay, now in your RFP, I will make a note of this, in your RFP is 2020 data. At the time we sent the RFP out, that's all we had. That's why you have a new, I think Gail probably gave you a sheet with some preliminary 2021 state data that you can include in your problem ID. Okay, but here are some of the recordings, the cheat sheets, some questions. If at any point you do have questions with your application, there is our Deputy Director, Jimmy Sumner. He's here somewhere, but his email is within the RFP. You can email him your question, and we will get it answered for you. Okay, So step-by-step guides, they're all there. Okay, so our basic grant information, we do get funds from the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration to disperse to local agencies, nonprofits, people that can help us eliminate those serious injuries and fatalities, okay? So, and we need your applications, your innovative ideas to be put into an application so that we could possibly fund your project and help you locally. They must be data-driven. They must be data-driven. They must be data-driven. They must be data-driven, okay? You'll probably hear that a couple more times today. All right, what you need to apply. You need to read the RFP. I think I mentioned that one time. There must be a need. So you must have a highway safety problem, a traffic safety problem in your area. You must be able to explain that problem within the problem ID section. And like I said, we're going to go through that a little more in depth shortly. But you need to be able to explain your problem. You will need your unique entity identifier. That is on that agency identification page. So your finance person will have that. So you just need to ask them what your SAM UEI number is. The federal employee ID number, your finance person again will know that number as well. And the applications must be submitted electronically within our grants management system, which the website is here in the RFP. So before I get into the different opportunities here, we provide seed money, okay? So we're not gonna fund your project at 100% for 10 years. Like we don't do that. We provide seed money, and then you guys will become eventually self-sufficient within the project, okay? So we work off reimbursement. All of our grants are reimbursement, which means your agency pays for the item up front, pays the salary up front, pays the enforcement hours up front, and then you will submit claims monthly for reimbursement, okay? We currently have 2 available opportunities. One is the general application, which most of you are probably here for. That encompasses everything except, at this point, the colleges and the high schools. Okay, we do have high school opportunities available if you're here from a high school, but make sure you get with one of our staff members afterwards. Currently, we have a grant with SAD National, and we will get you in touch with them to be able to work directly with them and get the grant from them. So young adults, that's the colleges and universities. So if you're here from a college or university, you will apply under the YA program, but everybody else will be a general application or GA program. Okay, our program areas under the GA is motorcycle, occupant protection, teen traffic safety, the young adult traffic safety, again, will be the YA program, minorities, older drivers, law enforcement programs, non-motorized pedestrian and bicycle. And if you guys will take a minute and look at that data sheet that we gave you with the 2021 data, you will see that our pedestrian fatalities are on the rise. If you haven't noticed that already within your own communities, trust me. We had 318 pedestrians killed in 2021. Okay, so those are on the rise. I just wanted to make sure I pointed that out because we need some pedestrian projects. Administrative judges and DUI courts, and also evaluation programs. Okay, so now what? you need to figure out in your agency who is going to be in charge of managing the program if it gets awarded. Oftentimes it's the person that submits the application, but if you've been tasked with submitting the application and there's going to be someone else manage it, you need to get with that person while you're writing it so they know what their grant is going to be for. You need to tell us what can be done to eliminate the problem. If you've got a speed problem in your jurisdiction, what can you do to eliminate that? How will the progress be monitored? On a monthly basis. So the grants are generally for 12 months based on the federal fiscal year, so they would start October 1st and run through September 30th. But how are you going to monitor it? Does the organization have a budget, and what will the budget be for this project? Is your organization or jurisdiction willing and able to accept and implement the project? Okay, so if it's awarded by October 1st, you will essentially have 90 days to get it up and running. So if it's awarded, you'll have till December 31st to get it up and running. We often have them start on October 1st with the project. So, and can your agency or organization adhere to the requirements of GOHS, which includes submitting monthly progress reports and claims? So if you're not able to do that, may not be a good fit for us, because we need those reports and claims on a monthly basis.